I've come before you once speaking about students, Ghanaian students, from most of them from very modest homes in Ghana, and who are encouraged to work hard so that they will be supported by the state to study abroad. And they work really hard, and by dint of their hard work, they earn a scholarship. Of course, we know that the scholarships has been abused, in some instances. But regardless of that, there are people who get the scholarship fair and square from very modest homes. Some of them, even schooling here in Ghana, their parents cannot afford. So they get a scholarship through the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat, and they go abroad in the UK, in the US, and elsewhere. And the Scholarship Secretariat somehow manages not to pay the fees, the tuition fees and the other fees that they have to pay. They manage not to pay the fees. The fees are standing in arrears for months, sometimes up to a year and more. And these students have become the people that are in crisis. Ahead of the elections in 2024, at a meeting with Dr. Baumia with the press, I decided to echo the concerns of the students. The government gave a certain relief by paying part of the fees to some of the students. But as we speak, like in the US, in University of Memphis, the tuition fees have been unpaid by the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat for a year. There's an MOU that they are supposed to be working with. They have breached it between the Scholarship Secretariat and the university. This was intended to support brilliant but needy students. And the hope was that they will return to contribute to national development. There have been attempts to reach the Scholarship Secretariat, and they have made empty promises. They have not fulfilled them. No concrete steps have been taken. The universities have been forced to do what they must do, because they can't wait for you for 6 months, 1 year, and you don't do what you have to do. The universities are run with money. So guess what? The students, once again, are facing a deadline. If they don't pay up, they lose their studentship. They don't only lose their studentship. I'm talking about those in America. Some have already lost their studentship, including in the UK, and I'll share something briefly with you about that. In America, they are also facing a revocation of their F1 student visas. They lose a legal status to continue to stay in America as students and to even live in America. Their education is at risk. The students are in severe hardship. Some are reporting depression. They are experiencing depression, anxiety, helplessness, and they feel abandoned by their government. I've read some of the letters that the universities write to them, and you can tell the administrations of the universities, they empathize with them, but that's all they can do. I've read letters sent to students in the UK who have already lost their studentship. They've already lost their studentship, and so they've been handed over to the Home Office. This is one of those letters. And I've redacted it in a way for some reasons, for good reason. They've lost their studentship. They can't go to the class. They can't participate in anything in the schools. And they've been referred to the Home Office, and they are now having to be deported. Some have suffered this already. They are having to be deported. I interviewed some of them a couple of months ago, and you have no idea the kind of ordeal the students are going through. Some have been compelled to sell sperms to make money. The ladies, you don't want to hear what they are going through because their government promised them, selected them, that you are the best of students in this country. We want to give you an opportunity to get, better, more educated so you can return to help this country. That's their crime. That's all. And this is what they face. The Scholarship Secretariat, the government of the Republic of Ghana, you need to make an immediate intervention to avoid the circumstances and ameliorate the circumstances that the students in the UK and in the US are facing. It's terrible. It's harrowing. Some of the stories I'm reading. I'm reading letters upon letters. I read a letter by a professor to one of their students, two professors to one of their students, and they were heartbroken that a student has to go through this process because their leaders, political leaders in Ghana, have failed the students. These are bright students that they identify, and they wish and pray that these students, when they eventually make it in life and get to serve in this country, they will change the narrative. Mr. President, your intervention is immediately required. We know that in this country, the executive has overwhelming power. And unless the executive, the president, speaks, almost nothing happens. Please intervene and go to the aid of these students. The Get Fund has money to give to some of them. You are seeking to make new scholarship awards when there are hundreds, in the thousands who are already there. It could be that there was some discrimination in the way of some of the selection of some of those people to, those countries. But why are you making new awards when you have students there? Your nationals are there who owe fees and they are being driven away. Some of them are finding themselves in work that it's terrible as I read them. A lady sent me the letter the school sent to her. She's been locked and blocked out completely, and she was telling me the story of her circumstances. It was heart-wrenching. Mr. President, make an intervention. Can we get the Scholarship Secretariat into Parliament so that they answer some questions? What is happening? Why are you issuing new ones? When the old ones are there, you can't pay. We can resolve this crisis. We must. Some have faced eviction from where they live. They don't even know where to go. Some are lucky to have gotten other Ghanaians or some people who take them in. The time is not on their side because the UK is not going to wait for them forever. Some of them, if they do get the money later, they must apply again for re-entry and to be reconsidered. So all the money we have spent to educate them up to this time is wasted. Why? We can't continue to behave like this. We can't continue to behave like this. Thank you very much. I understand that we owe an estimated $39 million. And the deportation threats and the evictions, we can avoid all of them. Next week, I'll be